Here inside the locker room at Charlotte West Stadium, Connor Runyon with head coach Kerri Blaylock of the SIU softball team. Coach Blaylock, we'll take a look at the schedule here momentarily, but how are you guys getting ready for 2018?
You know, we're practicing hard, had a great fall season, and just getting ready on the field now with some individual workouts and with some team mental training.
Yeah, you talked about some of that mental training. What exactly are you guys doing to get ready for first pitch coming up in the spring?
Well, I think, Connor, last year we read a book, Chop Wood, Carry Water, and quite honestly, I think it was the difference in our team, the way it brought us together. This year we're doing a book called Legacy about the New Zealand rugby team. It's always been Coach Sewell's brainchild to kind of bring me into the 21st century. Sometimes, you know, I'm old school, just get out there and play. And I think that the athletes nowadays just thrive on some of the stuff about working on their team culture and what that means to us. And we've always been such about team culture that this just goes along with it and hopefully gives us an edge.
Well, that should set you up for first pitch coming up in February.
Absolutely.
Mid-February, you guys open in San Antonio, and then a big tournament week 2 in South Carolina. You've got Mercer, Georgetown, and then Michigan State, and NCAA tournament qualifier with the host Gamecocks. How will that tournament challenge you guys?
Well, you know, it's good. Anytime you face SEC, Big Ten, etc., it really challenges you. Last year we were fortunate enough to play Michigan State and beat them, so I don't think we'll sneak up on them this year. And then South Carolina, very, very good SEC team every year. Mercer is the wild card there because they're a very, very good team. So don't know much about them or Georgetown, but play at a very, very high level for both mid-majors.
All right, Coach, February 23rd, the week after the South Carolina tournament, you guys head to Florida Gulf Coast and get to go down to sunny Fort Myers. How excited are you to get down to Florida and participate in that tournament?
Yeah, very, very excited for several reasons. We think it's a really good mid-major type tournament. We have UCONN, Gulf Coast, and Stony Brook. And again, all teams that we try to get within that 100 RPI. You know, it's a place where there are a lot of former Salukis that are down there that can come watch us play. And again, the weather usually is very, very nice and get all our games in. But again, our focus in that weekend, playing great mid-major competition. Once
the calendar flips to March, you guys get to host the Coach B Classic, March 2nd through March 4th. Murray State, Illinois, Northern Illinois come in. What does it mean to host this program or host this tournament for your program?
So happy that Coach Perry at Illinois decided that she would bring her squad down here. So again, you're talking about an NCAA qualifier. Northern Illinois, I believe, was a top 50 or 60 RPI last year. And then you've got Murray State, which is a regional rivalry and always a very big game for us. So it's a really, really great way right before we get ready to kick off MVC play that we've got those great teams here. We usually always have very, very good weather and love playing at home.
The conference starts March 17th. You guys take on Loyola, and then that next weekend you have Illinois State at home. Of course, the Redbirds were a 2 seed last year, but you guys took 3 of 4 from them last year, including the semifinal. What can you expect with your matchup with the Redbirds this year?
You know, they're just a great team, and they're very, very good offensively. And you know, we're talking, you know, 1 through 7 or 8 in their lineup. So we feel like every year that we go into conference play, every weekend literally is a dogfight, and you have to understand that it's a marathon, not a sprint. They're going to be very, very good. And, you know, we face them very, very early in the season.
April 7th, you guys go to Des Moines and take on Drake. Now, the Bulldogs were a team that was a little bit under 500 in conference play last year, but why might that be an intriguing series this year?
Well, because their #1 pitcher should be back. You know, she was hurt. The Newman kid had Tommy John surgery. So she was out last year, and she just is a driving force behind them. I heard they have a very, very good freshman, so you know it should be pitching on pitching, I hope. And our kids are a little miffed that when we went there 2 years ago, we didn't play very well. So I think they have a chip on their shoulder about trying to go back and play a little bit better when we visit Drake this time around.
The Missouri State series is kind of split up this year. You go there April 18th for a midweek doubleheader with the Lady Bears, and then come back home April 23rd and play them for 1 at home. How different will that be compared to past years where you just have, you know, 3 straight at their place or 3 straight here?
With the reorganization of the Valley, when Valpo entered and Wichita left, it left us with travel partners with Missouri State, and I don't know how good of a travel partner when you're 5 hours and 15 minutes away from each other. But we've just decided for this year only that we will play 2 midweeks and then try to adjust in the future. But that's going to be challenging because, you know, kids have to get out of class, you have to drive over there. It'll be another good series. I would say that just a friendly rival, you know, known their coaching staff for a very, very long time. We both have been very accommodating with each other to try to make this work in a midweek setting. So I don't think we'll see, you know, any big changes or anything just because we've really worked with each other to try to accommodate each other.
A couple weeks later, you get a title rematch on May 5th here at home against Northern Iowa. How excited are you to see the Panthers again?
They're just, you know, again, quality team every year, good pitching, very well coached, and it's always a big game. I thought it, you know, it's turned into a little bit of a rivalry over the last few years, and the kids get prepared. You know, the one thing is we mentioned these teams at different points of the season based on how they did last year. But what's funny, Connor, when I talk to the team, it's just a nameless, faceless opponent every weekend, and that's how you have to. That's kind of how you have to do it in the Valley, because if you don't, you're going to get beat. So again, a very good team, a very good schedule, but when it comes to Valley play, we really go at each team like it's, you know, they're the #1 team in the conference.
With the broad scope of the entire schedule in front of you, how do you think it sets you guys up to potentially repeat in the Valley tournament?
Well, I just hope that we, you know, go one game at a time and we trust our process and we play hard and we learn how to practice hard every day, play hard every day, and build the best version of this team, you know, the 2018 team. I think we built the best version of that 2017 team, and now it's time to flip the switch and go to the 2018 team. And that's what we're working hard on right now, is we're working hard on getting through our process of practice, and then we'll go at that one game at a time attitude. And that comes from the top, that comes from the coaching staff down. But our kids, our returners you know, now understand what it takes to do that, and now let's see if those newcomers understand. And like I said, I have much respect for our Valley opponents. I have much respect for our league, and I think it's a very good league. And so it's always a challenge, but ready to get out and get after it.
Coach, thanks a lot for the time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
There you have it, the Salukis 2018 softball schedule. Kerri Blaylock, I'm Connor Runyon saying so long from Charlotte West Stadium.